Over a year ago, the University of Maryland launched a national search for a director of the Division of Biostatistics and Bioinformatics. On November 1st, the Department of Epidemiology and Public Health welcomed its new director for this division.
Because it all started by me receiving a letter from Dr. Kevin Collin. He suggested that I should look at this job. So if you like, I suppose I was headhunted.
Having a important position like that might attract somebody with a lot of energy and ideas and prestige and skills, and we think we have someone like that, and so that's going to strengthen our department quite a bit. And he can also take over some of the responsibilities I've had, so I can get back to my teaching and to my research.
I think it's great that we have a division head now, somebody from the outside who can bring some fresh ideas, move us along, and develop our division. I think that's great.
So we are moving into what is called the big data era. So we get data from biomedical imaging, and we get data from registry-based databases, from genomics, from many different sources. And that has a huge implication also for biostatistics and bioinformatics. We are working on data set now that pose a whole new type of issues. Very often we have lots and lots of features per case. In the old days we had relatively few features typically for each case, and then maybe we had a lot of cases. Now we see what we call wide data sets, where we have loads of features and relatively fewer cases compared to the number of features. And that's really very interesting and challenging, and that's part of what we hope to move into.
Within weeks of arrival, Dr. Benson was awarded the prestigious International KFJ Award from the Danish National Hospital, University of Copenhagen.
It's a nice award to receive, not just because of the money involved, but also it's nice because it actually points forward. It points towards supporting research collaborations in the future. And I personally like that aspect. It's not just about where we come from, but it's really about where we're going, and this will open some new opportunities for research collaborations between Baltimore and Copenhagen.
After many years, May 1st, 2013 marked the day Dr. Jaakko Arakawa was appointed Research Associate in the Division of Translational Toxicology.
It's a good step as a recognition, I think, from the peers, from the bosses, that I should be upgraded. So that is a good feeling, you know.
The award of BARDA Countervail funds enables Dr. Albuquerque's group to intensify short-term and long-term investigations of galantamine as an antidote against toxic agents present in pesticides widely used in developing countries.
The results gathered from these so-called lower species, this has to be very good in order for you not to waste animals like monkeys, and not to be, to be safe to the humans when it goes to the clinical trials. So this preclinical stage is very important, that the results are very, solid.
Dr. Arakawa takes her work seriously, from injecting and implanting animals, tracking convulsions, to training others. All these basics matter in the advancement of public health.
If really our hypothesis is correct, it's going to have a good impact for the society, because we know we have a lot of people using agricultural pesticide, and that could help somehow, to either to minimize, not to avoid, but to minimize the toxic effects on those people.
Leaving a distinguished professorship at the University of Texas Medical Branch, Dr. Glenn Oster accepted the job as director of the Division of Gerontology in spring 2013. Dr. Oster brought his grants, his wife, and a clear vision to keep the Division of Gerontology at the forefront.
So my vision for the Division of Gerontology is to continue growing our research portfolio in the manner that Dr. Magaziner has. I would also like to extend the research toward the emergency department in the care of geriatric, older patients who visit the emergency department in their transition in care. I think that's going to be a growing area as the population ages and as more and more older adults will seek medical care through the emergency department. So I see this as an opportunity to understand and better treat these individuals. I would also like to bring aboard one or two new junior faculty members who also have an interest in this area and try to grow our research in the emergency department, again focused on the elderly patient and their health care needs. A further idea in keeping with the research theme is to try to grow our research portfolio in the area of patient-centered outcomes research and comparative effectiveness research. I think, again, this area with the passing of the Affordable Care Act has a lot of potential.
EPH got a 2-in-1 deal when we discovered Glenn Oster's wife, Dr. Yvonne Marie Burgess, would be able to fill a vacancy in the Division of Preventive Medicine.
It's been an amazing experience for me. Everybody has been so welcoming. I have great mentors. Without them, I don't know what I would have done.
Since her arrival, Dr. Burgess was tasked with bringing to life the combined MHS and Physician Assistant Certificate Program, a partnership between UNB and Anne Arundel Community College.
The idea is that the Physician's Assistants programs now need to offer a Master's in Sciences and Health Sciences. So the Anne Arundel College basically is contracting with UNB, the graduate school at UNB, and we as in the department, we're the ones offering 6 courses for the Masters. The interesting part also is that all these courses are going to be totally online. So the physician's assistants can be anywhere in the state of Maryland or out of the state of Maryland. The collaboration has been, I would say, smooth so far. Dr. Langeber and I, for instance, were part of the admission process of the physician's assistant, and that was an amazing, experience for us.
The Physician Assistance Program recommends that students in the program be enrolled full-time. Dr. Burgess is working on allowing individuals interested in taking the MHS courses to have that opportunity in the future.
In terms of having other students besides the physician's assistants in the program, what I call our first batch, which is our first 2 years, and once they graduate from the Masters, then in the second batch, then we'll probably open those classes to other students on campus, and the slots will be about 10, so each for each of the sections. It'll be very interesting to see how the first 2 years go, so the first time around goes, and then we'll take it from there.
Health behaviors, including diet, alcohol consumption, and physical activity, could influence breast cancer risk through effects on serum hormones. Dr. Joanne Dorgan, an expert on the relationship of hormones and breast cancer, joined EPH this October as a tenured professor.
The department and the Division of Cancer Epidemiology are excited about the recruitment of Dr. Joanne Dorgan as a full professor tenured. She's been a world leader in developing new approaches to understanding anti-malarian hormone as an important component of the complex relationship of hormones and cancer. One of the important factors in the recruitment of Dr. Dorgan was her tremendous success as a scientific leader in collaborating with multiple institutions and multiple investigators, and her strong success rate in continuous funding for over a decade from the National Institutes of Health, particularly from the National Cancer Institute. Dr. Dorgan, with her focus in breast cancer research, complements the work that Dr. Clement Adamowo is doing in Nigeria. He's recently been awarded a major genomics grant from the National Cancer Institute to establish a genome center, with one of the focuses of this center being on breast cancer. And he and Dr. Dorgan will be working on developing projects that allow us to do comparative research between the patients here in Baltimore and those in Nigeria.
It all started with an email to Dr. Bill Blattner about a year ago. Dr. Rebecca Nowak soon found herself at UMB, and in September 2013, she was appointed as an instructor in EPH. She continues to work with Dr. Blattner on various cancer epi initiatives.
The reason that I was most interested in working with him was because of his background in HIV, and he seemed to be interested in doing kind of virally associated cancers and kind of etiology pathogenesis, and that's kind of what I absolutely love. I mean, I love HIV, I love understanding viruses, and so that's what attracted me to initially come.
She's a tremendous addition to the division. She's actively engaged in mentoring of students and is taking on important responsibilities in the division.
So we're going to actually look at HPV in men who have sex with men. We're at the beginning stages of trying to get some pilot data and then start looking at this within Nigeria. This is a population that has not been studied before, and so in the coming months we hope to get some pilot data and get this going and then really kind of launch a whole new area of research.
Dr. Nowak worked with me as a postdoctoral, where she manifested tremendous capacity in data analysis. She's an outstanding writer. She contributed not only to book chapters that I've been involved in writing, but also in grant applications and publications. And she has demonstrated that intangible self-starting capacity to take charge and apply solutions to problems that's necessary for successful faculty transition.
It's pretty exciting to be promoted to faculty. I've been in academics pretty much since I graduated from college. I have not left academics all through the whole entire process. It's either being a student or working on other people's projects. And this is great because I'm starting to finally be able to develop my own research niche and finally be the person who's asking the questions. So it's pretty exciting. It's totally the beginning stages, so we'll see how it goes.
Graduate school at the University of North Carolina, my interest was in virus-associated cancers. At that time, we had discovered that HPV caused cervical cancer, and it was beginning to move quite fast, all the way from discovering the cause to prevention. And it's still definitely where my passion lies, especially when I get to travel and work abroad and you see the burden and knowing that we have prevention tools that just simply aren't translating. Aims of my Birch project is focused on modeling the cost-effectiveness of cervical cancer prevention in low-resource settings. And I've also recently gotten a contract through the Bush Foundation Pink Ribbon, Red Ribbon, which is an initiative for cervical cancer prevention in Africa. And I've gotten a contract with them to do more of this modeling. And the second thing that I look forward to in the coming year is expanding outside of cervical cancer into global cancer in general and also cancer and HIV. So I have a few projects ongoing right now looking at treatment disparities between HIV positive and HIV negative individuals for cancer. I think that that will be an important area to sort of expand my research outside of cervical cancer, but also make use of the skills and interests. And we have so many resources here at the University of Maryland where I can hopefully see a lot of that work through. A few things that really struck me were how extremely nice and supportive everybody is, and those things are really important every single day when I walk in here and I have somebody say hello and ask me how I'm doing, and I get to meet with my mentors on a regular basis. It's those meetings and also sort of the happiness and feeling settled here that I know is going to sort of see me through my first few years as a junior faculty member, getting some of my independent funding and getting some of those big first important papers